All right. I'm excited. So, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Recovery Scene. You may have noticed that it's been like a little over a month since we posted everything. And with the end of summer and the beginning of school and all the transitioning and stuff, sorry, things just got really busy. And then my guest tonight, I'm your host, by the way, Leslie, for those who don't know, but my guest tonight, Louie Spina, he and I have been like taking turns on which one of us forgot that we were supposed to have an interview because things have
Long
just
time
been,
coming.
yeah, things have just been so nuts. So yeah, my guest today is Louie Spina, and you guys, you are gonna just love his story. I mean, okay, I'll give you this, and then I'm gonna let Louie do the rest. Okay, he was never supposed to get out of bed ever again, ever. That's all I'm gonna tell you because I know you can see him right next to me. And he's definitely out of bed and moving and talking and everything else. So I'm gonna let Louie take over. Louie, thanks so much for being here
Yeah,
and being
yeah,
on the recovery
absolutely.
scene. I'm so excited
Yeah.
we're finally connecting.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, man. This is heavy. This is heavy. This is dope.
Yeah. All right. So start from the beginning. Give it to us.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm Louie Spina. I'm 36, man. I'm a Philadelphia native. I'm a Southwest Philly native, man. Born and raised, 66th Street. But I've been all over. I've been all over. My mom's from Southwest. My dad's from South Philly. I went to high school in Kensington. So I mean, I've touched down all the major parts of the city, man, and I've been all over. But my roots, my heart is in Southwest. I'm a Southwest native. My heart is in Southwest. But I grew up. Southwest was cool, man. It was the best neighborhood to grow up in when I was a kid. 60 of us on the corner, just having fun. This drugs, alcohol wasn't my thing, man. I played basketball my whole life. People can vouch for this. I was one hell of a basketball player. I had a scholarship. I went to Roman Catholic at the time in 1999, 2000. They were the number two ranked basketball team in the country with the
Wow.
number one ranked player, Eddie Griffin, in the country. So of course I went. I had my pick. I could, I had my pick for what high school to go to. That was my life, basketball, and I was good at it. And but being on the corner at an early age, nothing crazy, just hanging out, messing around with the girls, trying to look fly, going to the movies, typical teenager shit. But I liked it a little too much. You know what I mean? I like hanging out. I like looking fly. I like the girls. Like that was my thing. And high school rolls around. Now I really think I'm the man. I got my first tattoo when I was like 13. Like I really think I'm the man. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't tell me anything. So I'm fucking around and roaming. I'm acting like a knucklehead. I'm ditching school. They throw me out. So once you get thrown out of a Catholic school in Philly, you can't go to another Catholic school. So my
Oh,
dad, God rest his soul, is one of the greatest men I ever met in my life. He's one of the very few people that I've ever known. He went to Temple and got his psychology degree. Went to Widener, got his law degree. Went to St. Joe's and got his teaching degree. Very smart man, but he got bored very easily. He's also an addict, but he had um, I don't know, 25 years clean, like something crazy like that. But
okay.
he
Yeah.
got clean. My youngest memory, this is a true story, man. My youngest memory in life, I was like 3 or 4. And my dad was in active addiction. I remember waking up and it was raining out and being like, Dad, can we go to Clover and go get Super Mario Brothers 3? And his drug of choice was meth. He must have just went to sleep. He was probably up for a fucking week. You know what I mean? Takes my grandmother's car. We get in the car. He crashes the car. I hit my head on the windshield. He almost killed me, but he got clean from it. And he stayed clean. And he did all that great shit with school and all that. So when I get kicked out of Rome, and he's teaching at Edison, which is on Front and Luzerne. I go to Edison. Now I'm introduced to Kensington. I'm in a whole nother world now. You know what I mean? I was living in Southwest. Drugs were around and all that, but it wasn't, Southwest wasn't what it is today, which is a war zone.
Right.
Not with drugs, just with crime. Like Southwest is bad. So I moved to South Philly with my dad. I went to Edison, and I'm doing the same shit. But now I'm introduced, like I said, I'm introduced to Kensington.
Now, for people who don't know, Louie, for people who don't know, explain to them about Kensington, because I know, but some people don't.
Man, there's not another place in the world like Kensington. You know, I know people in Boston, they talk about Methadone Mile and you got Skid Row, wherever, but Kensington
is
a whole section.
Yeah.
It's a whole, New York calls them boroughs. It's a whole borough in Philadelphia of open air drug market, addicts everywhere, tents, sleeping on concrete, sleeping in the tents, just rows and rows. You can't walk down the street without a dope boy being like, don't powder crack, don't powder crack. Right. That's just the way it is, and it's normal. That's every day in Canada. It doesn't, it's 24/7.
Yeah, and for those that are curious, all you have to do is go to YouTube and search Kensington. You'll see it. It's famous and not for the best reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to school.
So I got introduced on the other side of Kensington now, not as an addict,
right?
As let's get some money together.
Right.
So I'm drawing, and I'm in high school. I was out of pocket. Like it was a mess. I was a mess. You know what I mean? I'm not going to school. My dad and my mom just, I did what I wanted to do at a young age. I was running the streets, acting like a fucking idiot at a young age.
And they
dropping out of school, not caring. All I wanted to do was look fly and hang out with the girls. That's all I wanted to do.
There was no discipline there?
No, not at all. No. Like my mom was an alcoholic, you know, but she was, God rest her soul. My mom and my father passed away. But I wouldn't trade either one of them for the world. Like my mom, my Southwest house was that place where it's like, you want to get drunk, you want to get, you know, we're going to Louie's house. Denise don't care. Denise is with it. Denise is the one that's like, yo, I'm cooking food. I got the beer. You bring the weed. Tell the bitches to come over. Like, that's my mom. That was my mom. You know, everybody called her mom. My house was the hangout spot. Like, that's how it was in my Southwest house. And I ended up moving back to Southwest when I was like 18. Me and my dad had a falling out. And I didn't talk to my dad for like 4 or 5 years, 3 or something like that. We had a really big falling out. I'm not going to get into details about it, but people that know me know what happened. It wasn't on my part, but that's irrelevant. I forgave him, and we ended up, you know, rekindling our relationship on my part again, because I'm the one that reached back out to him, because he didn't reach out to me, and he was at fault, very at fault. And so I ended up, like I said, I even after high school, I was still playing basketball. I was still, drugs still were not my thing. They were not my thing. Like my friends that I was close with then could tell you, they would be like, yo, come on, let's smoke this blunt. And I'd be like, no, bro, I'm cool, dog. Like, I'm not, no, that's stupid. Like, I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, bro, I'm cool. And, you know, for what it turned into, it's pretty fucking crazy.
Right.
So I had a sports hernia, or I had a hernia, whatever. So I had a hernia, and they had to operate on it, and they prescribed me perks. And
yep.
Boom, take off.
Yeah.
Take off. It was a wrap after that. It was a wrap. I'm popping perks every day for like 5 years. But I'm dabbling with other shit too. Like I'm popping Xannies. I had a bad run with Xannies, man. My cousin, if he's watching, shout out Chris. He used to be like, I'm talking like at the time where Nextels were out. Doo-doo, yo. And he could hear it in my voice. He'd be like, bro, I'm not picking you up. Like, he used to call me Lucifer when I was on Xannies. And everybody hated being around. I was the complete opposite of who I really am. I was a jerk off.
Complete personality change.
Jerk off. And I always ended up doing something stupid, waking up, not remembering. Like, I don't even know why I enjoyed it, because I can't even tell you what a Xanny high feels like. Because as soon as I pop them, I black out and wake up the next day. But I still had a run with them for years.
Right. Oh, that makes sense, though. That makes sense why your personality would have been completely different, because Louie wasn't in control anymore. You know, to everybody else, that might sound weird. You know, to normies, that might sound weird. Like, what were you, possessed? Yeah, kind of. You know, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he called me Lucifer. That's exactly why he called me Lucifer.
Appropriate.
Yeah. So I had a summer popping ecstasy, shit like that. But it was I always ended up going back to the perks. And then, perks graduated to oxys. Then I'm taking oxys, I'm snorting oxys, and now it's costing a little bit too much money to get high. Right. And I'm starting to realize this, but I'm still not at the point where I'm like, I'm an addict. Not at all. Even when I went to my first rehab, I'll get to that though. Even when I went to my first rehab, I went to a Christian rehab because I was like, I'm not going to a rehab around these fucking fiends. Like, that's not me. Yeah, all that. Reality check came real fucking soon. Right? So during this time, a lot of my friends died too. Somebody I grew up with killed himself in like 2003. And then two of my really close friends, no drugs related. Well, one of them. But I'm not going to say names in case anybody's watching. But people that know my story know who it is. They're all tattooed on me, every single one of them. And I lost a lot of friends, man. And close friends. That was the thing. Close friends. And then at 25, my mom was an alcoholic, a bad alcoholic, with beer. She wouldn't drink a lot of beer, but she was consistent with the beer. And she would pop a perk or a Xanny and smoke weed. But the beer did to her what Xannies did to me.
Oh, wow.
It was day and night. Day and night. Like I would just be sitting on a couch watching TV, and she'll be cooking. She was always cooking. She would just turn around and be like, oh, I hate to say this word. Trigger. I don't mean to say this, but I'm just telling my story. I hope nobody takes offense to this word. She used to turn around and be like, you fucking faggot. And I should be like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? What's your problem? And then she would just start a fight. And then my steppop was always hitting her, and I'm always fucking him up. We were always fist fighting. Always fist fighting. And then she would after I beat him up, she would get mad at me for beating him up, for beating her up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
Crazy. This is all and this is, when it comes down to it, this is all addiction, wrapped in alcoholism at the end of the day. Now that I'm older and I'm wiser and I've been through a lot of shit, I can look back and see that. At 25, I found my mom dead.
Oh,
She was
wow.
she was very young. She wasn't even 50, but it was a direct result from her alcoholism. And she had a stroke in her sleep, and it caused a brain aneurysm, and her brain bled out. And I found her that morning, and it was bad, man. Like, you know, I can't even like describe the way she was breathing. Like it was like a congested, like mucus snore. It was bad. It was scary, is what it was. And so she passed away, you know, that day. And I lost my fucking mind. You know what I mean? I lost my mind. That was my best friend. You know? Yeah, we fought like cats and dogs, you know? But, you know, that was my mom, man, you know? And even though she was more of a friend, she was my mom. You know what I mean? Like she never turned her back on me with anything, you know, and my grandma who passed away, you know. And I'm an only child. I got brothers and sisters with my dad, but you know, they're all doing their own thing. I was close with them when I was like younger. You know what I mean? Like, but ever since I've been in addiction, I didn't fuck with nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't fuck with nobody because I was doing my own. You know what I'm saying? I was out there ripping and running. Like, I'm no good to nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I was in a dark place, man. You know what I'm saying? Very insecure, very self-conscious. Like,
Yeah.
I was in a dark place.
When we're addicts, you know, we're not emotionally mature at all. So even though it's like, well, I mean, that's horrible, but he was a grown man when his mom died. But no, not really. You know what I mean? Like it still would have been completely traumatizing to be
Yeah,
the one that found your mom and, you know, had to go through that.
yeah, it was bad. It was like I said, it was scary. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was bad. And you know, and like, so I say that to say this. That was the first day I did heroin. As the devil would have it, I'm calling around, I'm trying to find oxys, who don't got it, who's not answering the phone. So there was this white boy that lived up the street from me. He was dating this black girl. Southwest is all black. It used to be all Italian and Irish, but now it's all African American, if I want to be politically correct. And he was dating a black girl. He was on dope, like here and there. You know what I mean? Like he would go up there, but when he was with me and my other man, who's clean right now, doing real good. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my best friends. You know, my man Mike. I don't know if he's watching. He's probably not, but shout out to Mike Folio anyway, because he's doing his fucking thing right now. He's got like ears clean, crit, all that. That's my man. But we all did dope together, is my point. It was the three of us. So I don't want to say his name. This dude was like, let's go to Kensington. And he's like, you're about to spend $80 and you're not even going to get high, bro. Like, we go to Kensington, you spend $80, you're going to be high till next week. Like, you can buy a bundle, you know? And I just found my mom dead. So I'm like, fuck it, bro. Yeah, let's go. Like, let's go. Like, I just wanted to numb myself. Let's just go. So I went, and I never touched a pill again after that. So I was 25. That started my heroin habit, and you know it progressively got worse over the years. It was bad. You know what I mean? It started off, like I said, it started off with my grandma being like, "If you don't go to rehab, you ain't living here." And I'm like, "All right, I'll go to rehab." Like, all right. And I went to a Christian rehab in Buffalo. I went to Teen Challenge. It's like Bible boot camp.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of them.
There's no form of recovery. Like there's no drug talk, nothing. It's just give it to God and he'll take it away. And I'm sure that works for some people.
Right.
It didn't work for me. You know, like I'm very hard-headed. I'm very stubborn. You know, like hence why it took what it took for me to get clean. Because I've had multiple situations where probably anybody else would be like, fuck that, bro. Like, I'm good.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, let me push the bars a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see how much more I could cheat death. Because
Right.
I don't think I can die. I think I'm kind of untouchable.
Because that's what addiction, you know, we're
the
immortal.
sickness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how sick my brain was at the time.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't even care. I don't even care because at the time I was thinking, you know what? And I left this out. I had a daughter when I was like 20.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 15, about to be 16. And, you know, I dropped the ball, man. You know, like I really dropped the ball heavy. I was in active addiction, like, you know what I mean? And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when her mom did the right thing at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like she kept, you know what I mean? She was protecting our daughter. You know what I mean? I guess she knew in her mind, like, this motherfucker is on a roller coaster to hell, and he's not taking me and my daughter with him. You know what I mean? And I have nothing but until this day, I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for her. You know what I mean? And like she'll randomly, you know, like comment on something and like, you know, that's like, all right, bro, like you didn't have to say that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I've reached out in the past and then relapsed and reached out and relapsed. So this time around, you know, before I try to make it right, I know I got to make myself right. You know what I'm saying? So that played a part. Like, so I, you know, like all this stuff played a part in my addiction because like I felt like everybody I loved got taken away from.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like I felt like everybody that like I truly loved in my heart got taken away from me. So I was like, what's the point? What's the point? I'm just going to numb myself until, you know, eventually this shit will take me out, hopefully. You know, this is my thinking during active addiction. And you know, the 10 years of heroin abuse, multiple rehabs, multiple prison stays, probation violations, months here, months there, rehab here, rehab there, out, stay clean for 10 days, relapse, in, jail 9 months, out, relapse, back in 2 months later, out, relapse. Like this was a constant cycle for 10 years. Homeless, like literally homeless, living in Kensington in a tent, sleeping in a park, sleeping on Broad and Snyder, like didn't even care. All I wanted to do was numb myself. That's all I wanted to do. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you got to say. Fuck you. Suck my dick. I'm numbing myself. Excuse my language. I'm from Philly. I can't help it. And I'm Italian. I'm sorry if there's Christians and you're not used to this talk. I apologize. So it was bad. And then fentanyl hit, boom. Now fentanyl's in my life. Oh, and coke is involved because I'm not even getting high anymore. I'm just getting well. So I still need to numb myself. And for people that don't know, when I say getting well, if you don't have your heroin, fentanyl for a certain amount of time, you physically get ill.
That's right. And it's
your
bad.
body hurts, you got cold sweats, you're throwing up, you're kicking your legs, and it's like the flu, except you're not sleeping this flu off. No. There's no sleep. There's no sleep involved in withdrawal. So now I'm not even getting high. I'm shooting coke. It's bad. So I have a son now. My son's born. He's 2 now. When my son was born, he's my junior. Louie Spina Jr. He's me. He's my twin physically and personality wise. When he was born, something like sort of clicked in me. And I say that because I ended up getting high again. Something sort of clicked in me. And I really wanted to get clean for him. But I knew I couldn't do it just for him because I really had to start loving myself like I used to when I was just worried about looking good and fucking with the girls.
Right.
I really loved myself. Like I said, you couldn't tell me anything. I didn't think anybody was fucking with me. Like my swag, my charisma was on a beam. You couldn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost that person. You know, I lost that person along the line. And another thing that happened in addiction, I had compartment syndrome. I was clean for like 2 months. I overdosed in my car, and I woke up like who knows however long later, and the whole right side of my body was like pins and needles, and I couldn't feel nothing. And I had to go in. I got a hoodie on, or else I would show the scars. But they're like literally like 12-inch scars that covers my whole forearm and my whole calf. I almost lost my arm and my leg. So like something like that, somebody else might be like, "Yo, fuck that, bro. I'm getting clean." No, I didn't. I kept going.
Right.
I kept going for like another 4 years. So I relapse again. You know, I'm trying to stay clean for him. It's not working. I still can't love myself. And then a very short time later, I find out I'm having another kid with the same girl. You know, I'm not running around just, you know, sticking my dick in or whatever and getting women pregnant. Like, you know, I was with the same girl that, you know, with my son and my daughter. And so then we, you know, I decide I'm going to get clean. Like, this is it. Like, I got to do it, man. Like I'm getting too old. I'm 35. Like, and 35. I spent the last 6 birthdays, Christmas in either jail or rehab. Either one. From 29 to 35 was either jail or rehab. Like I'm missing out on life. Like I see my friends and family who's getting married, who's buying a house, they got this car, they're opening businesses, and I'm fucking, this is what I should be doing. Because I got it in me to do that shit. This is what I should be doing, but instead I'm running around running fucking speedballs, homeless in Kensington, feeling fucking sorry for myself. When nobody else is feeling sorry. Nobody else gives a shit. Nobody cares. So I decided, you know, I got to do this, man. Fuck everybody else. Because when I was down in them trenches in Kensington, homeless, where the fuck was everybody at? Nobody was there. So fuck everybody. I'm not doing this for nobody. I'm going to do this for me. And I decided that's what I wanted to do. I was clean like 4 months, 4 months. I was in a program. I was in Gardenzia long term. I'm the fucking president of the unit. Like, you know what I mean? Whoa.
Right.
Fuck, you can't tell me nothing again. I'm feeling myself and I leave. I leave. I relapse. I wake. It wasn't a very long relapse either. I wake up in the middle of the night one night. I had scoliosis surgery when I was like 20. That's another Percocet thing. I forget shit, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like out of the norm for me to have like back pain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel like I got a kink in my shoulder blade, but it hurts bad. So I let it go. Fuck it. Boom, doing my thing. Next day, it's worse. The pain's worse. And I can take some pain. Like physically, I can take a lot of pain. And boom, day 3, it's even worse. Now it's like affecting my walking. Like every step I take, Like it hurts. I got a fever. My baby mom's like, bro, go to the ER. And I'm like, bro, no. Like, no, I don't. It takes a lot for me to go to a hospital, right?
Right.
It got so bad to the point where I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I was literally like I was staying in a hotel at the time. The fucking people next door must have thought somebody was getting murdered in my room. How much pain I was in. So now they take me to the hospital. I don't know how. I don't remember how they got me there. I don't remember getting there. My body was already shutting down. It was over. They get me there. Apparently, the surgeon's like, listen, bro, like, I had pneumonia in my lungs. My blood went septic. My organs were shutting down. And I had an abscess on my spinal cord from missing the vein in my neck with a speedball. So the abscess was so big and so infected because I let it go. Mm-hmm. I didn't know I had an abscess. I can't see it. You know what I mean? It's not like an abscess on your arm. You see that shit. Right. It was on my spinal cord. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not your spine, your spinal cord.
Right.
It's a difference. You know, it's like your skull and your brain, your spine, your spinal cord. Mm-hmm. He's like, bro. He didn't say, bro. This is, you know. He's like, listen, you might not make it. Like, this is bad. Like, really bad. Like, we need to go in and open up your whole neck.
Right.
And I don't remember this. This was told to me. What I remember is waking up like, I don't know how long later. And I can't move anything. Like, I'm trying to.
Right.
And it's nothing's moving. I got a trach in my throat. A ventilator in my mouth breathing for me, and I can't move anything. And my cousin Chris is holding my hand, and he's crying, and I can't talk. That's the next thing I remember. Come to find out, like I said, the abscess on the spinal cord was so high, it was like C1 to C4 or C5 it affected, and which C is the top of your spine, T is you know what I mean, the rest, I guess. So the higher that's affected, the more of your body it affects. So because it affected literally the top of my spinal cord down, it affected my whole entire body, and I was quadriplegic. And they told me, you know, this is what it is. You know, like, this is what it is. It was either this or you die. There was no other, well, maybe or this, maybe we could do that. It was open his neck, remove it. He's quadriplegic or he dies. That's it.
Now, Louie, tell them how long ago this was. This wasn't like
last July.
Yeah, this wasn't like years and years ago. This was a year ago.
Last summer. No, this was last summer. And so I was in the ICU. You know, I was in the ICU. Couldn't do anything. I couldn't do nothing. You know, I'm just laying there watching NBA playoffs. And then they moved me to the NICU. And like now, like they're starting to like, I used to call it a talking valve. I don't know what the real word for it is. They would put it on my trach so I could start to get my voice back. Mm-hmm. And like my voice was real groggy. I couldn't eat anything. I was on a feeding tube for like 4 months. Because of the trach. I couldn't breathe. You know, and I had them on top of everything. I had pneumonia in my lungs.
Right.
So it was, you know, one thing after the other. I was lucky to be alive. I didn't want to be alive. You know what I mean? I think at one point I said to my baby mom, like, yo, just run something in me and just let me go, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just let me go.
Right.
Because, like, you know, I'm gonna end up crying if so I start getting these crazy fucking leg spasms. And, I'm like, yo, like something's moving down there. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, well, it's just your nerves reacting, blah, 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 blah. So they decide they're going to release me from the hospital and send me to Moss, which is like top-notch rehabilitation center.
Right.
Like they had shit in there that was like, if you see my videos, you've seen it. Like it's like I used to call it the Terminator. So I was there, my first day there, I had a mental breakdown. Like, cause I just got overwhelmed.
Right.
Everything was really like starting to come to light. Like, holy shit. Like, I'm never going to be able to teach my son how to play basketball. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be able to walk my daughter down the aisle. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. And I was crying for hours. Like, the doctor came in. He gave me like a value to try to calm me down. Like, it was bad. And then out of nowhere, some say, some might call it like an epiphany. Some might call it like a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
But I just stopped crying. And right then in that moment, it was like August 1st, or I don't know, something like that. Right then in that moment, I said to myself, like, bro, there's two things we can do here. We can keep this up. And, wham, 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 why me? This sucks. And then, have people like, oh, look what happened to Louie, or fucking jerk off. If he wasn't a junkie, never would have happened. Fucking piece of shit. Because they're out there. I promise you, they're out there. Not everybody likes what I'm doing right now. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
So
there'll always be people who want you to stay who you were. Always.
Absolutely.
They felt better when you were a mess.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said to myself, we could do that. Or I can really fucking give this thing everything I got.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's said and done, I don't care what anybody says. I know that I can look in it. This is exactly what I was telling myself. I know that if I can do this, this is the greatest comeback of all time. Like, this is the shit that legends are made of, bro. It doesn't matter what happened and what caused it, that I was a fucking drug addict. The comeback of what I went through. If I could overcome this, the end result is going to be phenomenal. Like, I'm going to help change lives. I'm going to do, and right then in that moment, I said, it's go time. I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing. Fuck it. What do I got to lose? What do I got to lose? Fuck it. I'm giving, and me and my cousin, I started saying, yo, I'm giving this thing 150%, 150%. And I used to say, and I said 150% because I was on a spinal cord injury floor. A lot of people are depressed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are sad. A lot of people don't want to go to physical therapy. So I'm telling the therapist, like, yo, if Joe Blow don't want to go to therapy, let me get his hour.
Uh-huh.
Give me his time slot. And they were doing it. So I'm putting in double the work every day. They got me in these crazy machines that fucking walk for you. They got me hanging from the ceiling on a treadmill, all this crazy shit. And it was working. I'm in occupational therapy with these machines for my arms, but I had a stroke as well. And it affected the right side of my body worse than the left.
Right.
So still to this day, the right side's taking a little longer to come back, but I'm still the work hasn't stopped. since that day. I don't take a day off. There's no day. I didn't take any days off shooting dope.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I'm not taking any days off in my recovery.
Amen.
So I'm progressing like it's insane.
Right.
Next thing I know, they're like, all right, see ya.
Just so everybody's clear,
They're like, bye.
Louie's sitting down to be comfortable. He's not sitting down because he can't stand.
Oh, yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. So they're like, all right, time to go. I'm like, fuck, what do you mean time to go where? I'm just getting better, bro. Where am I going? Well, it's an insurance issue. Your time's up. I was there like 2 months, 2.5 months. I'm begging them to give me an extension. Not doing it. So they send me to a nursing home. It's a rehabilitation / nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's day and night compared to where I was just at. Where I was just at, the staff cares about you. They want you to get better. They're coming to your room. You hit a call bell, they're there in 7 seconds. What's up? What do you need? You good? Like they care about you. Like I made great friends from Moss. So now they send me to a place where, there's a lot of older people. There's still younger people that are, but a lot of older people, a lot of people that are here for the rest of their duration of life.
Mm-hmm.
They're not old air in their head. It's a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They don't care at all. It's a bunch of ghetto. Yeah, it's a bunch of ghetto bitches, because that's what they are. All right? Because they're ignorant. They don't give a fuck what. You hit that call bell, they'll come in like an hour, maybe 2, if they come. And then when they come in, they're like, what do you want? Why is your call bell on? The fuck you mean, why is my call bell on? Because I need your fucking help, bro. When I first got here, I could barely get out of a wheelchair on my own. Like, just to use the bathroom, I would have to hit my call bell so that they could come and help me walk to the bathroom. So, mind you, my body isn't what it was. My body is trying to everything. It's every muscle, every nerve. Nothing's right. Everything's trying to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there like trying to hold it in while they just fuck around on their cell phones on Instagram behind the desk. There'll be 6 of them behind the desk, but 7 call bells are going on. It's fucked up.
Right.
So I'm just in this room, no therapy. It's just leave. Insurance is paying for it. Fucking just leave them in there. So now I'm like, the fuck am I going to do now? Like I'm thinking, I'm coming to a place. All right, I'm lying. I'm sorry. They gave me therapy for like 21 days, and all I did was do this on the little bike thing. That's it. That's it. Sorry, I forgot about that. Right? So now it's, at the time, I was like, anything else you want to do, bro? Thanks, God. Like, you haven't shitted on me enough. Like, this process wasn't hard enough. Now what am I going to do? I don't have that. Like, what am I going to do? So I said it again. It's fucking go time. It's go time, bro. So I dedicated myself, no matter what I did, putting weights on my legs, just lifting my legs up, just stretching, whatever. in this room that I'm sitting in right now, by myself. Nobody coming in. Hey Lou, you ready to go to therapy? Hey Lou, get up. Hey yo, let's go to nothing. Nothing. I was my own fucking cheerleader. And you know what really got me going, bro? Fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
I never had so many supporters. People were telling me, bro, what you're doing is fire. Like, I'm proud of you. I don't even know you, but I'm proud of you. Keep going. You motivate me. You're an inspiration. That's a whole different good feeling. Especially from that dark place that I was just at. With nobody coming to visit me. Nobody calling to check up on me. Some people here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Not like they should have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what the circumstances were, I just thought I would have had more support in my real life. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. I didn't. It was a lot of headaches, actually. It was a lot of headaches. A lot of nights where if I wasn't mentally, if I didn't turn into a mental savage in the last year, where I probably would have broke.
Right.
You know what I mean? I probably would have broke. And that's just not what it is anymore. And so I dedicated myself, man. And it started with the wheelchair. You know, just literally just wheel on my legs. It helped me gain strength. And then I would just stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And then that grew some more strength. Then I'm doing squats. Boom, boom, that did more strength. Then I'm at the point where I said to them, I said, yo, because now I'm trying to walk around in my room. You know what I mean? Because it's a nice sized room, but if I were to fall, I might fall into something. Like, so I in my mind, I'm like, I won't get that hurt, but I gotta try. You know what I mean? I have to try. I'm not staying here forever. I got shit that needs to be done. I got a son that needs to know his dad is a fucking savage for what he just went through and is overcoming, still overcoming. It's not there yet, but we're damn fucking close. And I'm putting in the work, man. So I said, yo, let me get a walker. Oh, well, we don't know if you might fall. But man, give me the fucking walker. Oh, well, we got to do 3 days of observation with you. I don't care what you got to do. Give me the walker. Boom. Start using the walker. After like 3 or 4 days with the walker, I said, no, I got this. Yeah, I got this. Fuck that walker. And I started just slowly. It was more like a, but I'm doing it with nothing. That's the upgrade. I'm not using anything.
Right.
And I'm still doing everything in my room on top of it. I'm still doing the squats. Now I'm doing the, I don't know what it's called, when you just sit against the wall.
Wall sits.
Wall sits. Yeah. I'm doing everything. Sit-ups. I'm doing just 6 inches off the ground. I'm making these legs stronger than they ever were. And now they're at the point, now I'm trying to get my weight back up, which is hard. I understand, but like I said, I'm insecure, I'm self-conscious, but it's slowly coming back. You know what I mean? Because at one point I came home from jail and I was always little. Like, I'm not a big dude, but I don't want my jail weight back, but I want the weight back that I had before this. And it's slowly getting there, but, I remind myself that I just went through something crazy and it's going to take time for my body to come back. It's only been a year. What I've done in a year, most people, if any, that were in that situation are probably still in bed. And if they're not in bed, they're at least in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I had that moment of clarity where it just a switch went off. I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. A switch went off and I turned into a monster. like in a good way. You know what I mean? Not in a
Right.
bad way.
Right.
And you know, and I decided, you know what? If I'm going to do this, fuck it, I'm going to document it. And I started making the TikTok videos. And like, you know, literally, you can go to my first TikTok video, and it's me standing up, taking 2 steps, and like, fuck that, I got to sit back down, and sat back down. Compared to what it is now, like now I jog in place in my room.
That's
I'm
awesome.
trying to be able to run again. You know, and I'll get there. It's not about if, it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. You know what I mean? I've been manifesting a lot of things. You know, I didn't just work. I didn't just work physically. I worked mentally, and really, most importantly to me, spiritually. You know, I took a different route with everything. I'm doing a lot of meditation now. You know, a lot of guided meditation. You know, a lot of chakra sounds, stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to do something different.
People don't realize, I tell them all the time as a recovery coach, how powerful the mind is and how powerful meditation is.
It's the most powerful thing in the world. Most powerful thing in the world. You see, this is something I learned during this process. I can't sit here. My thoughts, good or bad, create my reality. Whether people know it or not, you're manifesting every day. Because if you're negative, you got a bad attitude, you're ignorant to people, well, guess what? A lot of bad shit's going to happen to you.
Say it again. Say it again, Louie.
But no matter what the situation is, I don't care what it is. If you tell yourself you're going to get through it, guess what? You're going to get through it. You can't. A wise man, God rest his soul, once told me and my cousin, there's no such thing as try. There's no such thing as try. You either do it or you don't. There's no, let me try to do, no. Do it. Just do it. Or don't. There's no try. These are things that play to my mind. You know, I spend a lot of time alone this last year. A lot of alone time. Like literally, I was alone. I've been alone for a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, staff and all that, but you know what I mean? Like I said, nobody from my life has come to visit. Nobody's come to see me. My kids, that's it. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm okay with that because I've learned now, and it's become very powerful for me, that being alone is okay. Right. I don't have to be codependent no more. I don't have to rely on anybody or whatever. You know what I mean? Sure. You know, I'm you know what I mean? Like, of course, I'm like, I need favors here and there. You know what I mean? I'm fucked up. Like, I'm still in this nursing home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting better, you know? But, you know, today I'm going on fucking 14 months clean. I don't take pain. I'm in pain every day. I don't take no pain medications. I was on Suboxone. Weaned myself off Suboxone in here on my own. No Suboxone. No nothing. No nothing. I meditate. I work out. I share my story on a daily basis on TikTok. And, you know, it might not be much, but it makes me feel good, you know, and I know in the process I'm helping people feel good. You know, I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of messages of people telling me how much I motivate them, how much I inspire them. And that's a really good feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah. Knowing that my pain, that somebody's looking at my pain and my story like, bro, if he can do that, I can do this.
Right.
And that's what it's about, man. Like at this point, you know, some people are like, bro, you changed, dog. Yeah, I did change. Absolutely I did. Why wouldn't I?
Right.
Say like it's a bad, bro, you changed, bro. Yeah. What do you think? I just did all this to stay the fuck the same? Because when I was staying the same, look where the fuck it got me.
Right. Right.
The homeless in Kensington in a tent. It got me fucking paralyzed. That's where that dude got me.
That's right.
And in a short time, just doing them, and I ain't doing nothing to fuck great. I mean, I don't know. Some people might think it is, but I'm not doing nothing fucking. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my fucking experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by great. Like, it ain't like I'm fucking creating, I don't know, spaceships to fucking Mars. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to say
Not yet.
I'm just sharing my story. That's it.
Right.
I'm just sharing my story and hoping that I can help an animal.
Right. And that's what I always say. If we, by going through what we went through, by sharing our stories, if one person, one kid hears us and they don't go down that road, or an addict decides to change their life and get help, we've done our job.
Absolutely.
You know? We are the first responders of addiction. We are the people that they hear first, the other addicts that share their stories before rehab, you know, even before rehab, you know, you heard of so-and-so who stopped using, you know, and it's like, these are the people like us who have to share our story, you know, and you know, I want to thank you, Louie. 14 months, first of all, is awesome. But I want to thank you for coming on and just sharing such a powerful and amazing story with everybody that is inspiring so many.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I appreciate you. I appreciate the platform. You know, this is eventually, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Every time I went through a rehab and all that, like I said, I'm the president of rehab, and you know, I understand that. You know, my cousin tells me, you know, you're a character. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that. You know what I mean? I got, you know, I just have, you know, I love myself today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people might say, oh, you're cocky, you're conceited. You call it whatever you want, but I look in the mirror and I love myself today.
Right.
I didn't love myself a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I mean? And like I said, I might ruffle some feathers these days, and that's all right. You know what I mean? If your feathers are ruffled, it's a personal problem. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my story of hope, letting you know what I've been through, and hopefully somebody along the line I can pull with me and get them clean, sober, whatever you want to call it, whatever keeps a needle out of your neck, a pipe out of your mouth, fucking straw up your nose, pills in your mouth, whatever keeps you away from what caused you destruction, go for it, bro. I'm all for it.
That's right. Again, Louie, this has been awesome. It was worth the wait. It was definitely worth it. We are going to check in with you again. We will be interviewing you definitely again in the future. And you know, we wish you all the best. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Recovery Scene. Thanks to everybody who was on the Facebook Live. We appreciate you, and we will see you guys next time. And remember, addiction isn't pretty, but recovery is beautiful.